How's it going, everybody? It's been a while, but I'm back to give you another Bleach 1000-Year Blood War Season 3 episode review, and it's episode 36, Baby Hold Your Hand 2. In case you missed it, and you're new here, I'm Shane. I need you to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of more reviews like this. And if you want to support me even further, please hit that Patreon link right there in the description below. Anything you donate is very much appreciated because, hey, I usually don't binge watch anything anymore. And I said, I got to finish things up. So I sat down and I just watched every last thing of Bleach. It's done. And this is one of 5. I don't think these are going to be out before the new year. But actually, I'm pretty sure the episodes 39 and 40 reviews will be out probably on the 1st and the 2nd. But don't worry, I haven't forgotten about Daima. I definitely have not. I'm not ignoring the last season of What If, because stuff coming out every day, that's hard. That's very, very hard for me to get that stuff out. But enough yapping about that. Let's talk about Baby Hold Your Hand Part 2. So we back at it, and not even instantly, halfway through this episode, I realized there's a double entendre for the titles of this. We come right back to Mayuri laughing, about his victory, talking to Ashichi Joji Ashichi, his Bankai, right? He made the last minute decision of it not having teeth, because remember, anything that gets cut off of that left hand, and this is the left hand, anything that gets cut off of it, it's going to make another left arm. So he's like, yeah, just swallow it, because I don't think you'd be able to take it all in if you bit into it and it just kept multiplying. And then it starts undulating and looks like it's getting punched from the inside out, and it explodes into just guts and viscera. This episode here is probably the most, I don't want to say gory, because we've seen there's gory anime, but this is like the most viscera we've seen, at least in this season of Bleach. Outside of watching an old man get cut diagonally, but there wasn't any guts or anything involved in that one. I made a little so, but this episode we're going to learn a lot about Nemu, his lieutenant. But first, hold on, I'm gonna go around here. First, we actually see her birth, and her name, her actual official name, is Mayuri number 7. Let's talk about her a little bit here before we get into the meat of this episode. Which this is technically the meat. This is a smorgasbord, y'all. So during the battle back at the science base, you get 3 vials that pop up, and it's the artificial soul project Nemu. With vials 1 through 3 are clumps, and I guess Mayuri's technical second in command was technically his 3rd seat. That science guy, I never really took the time to learn his name, but he's there. There's the girl with the glasses and the black hair, and then there's Panda Eye Man, the guy who we'll call him not Gaara, because he's not Gaara, but he has those panda eyes, right? And he's explaining that 1 through 3, they're technically corpses, but they're just clumps of cells because they didn't grow. Mayuri number 4, it grew to a brain. And that actually was used to help fix Panda Eye guy. I guess he benefited from that. It's kind of like stem cells, right? That's kind of what this is seeming like. But it's artificial soul project. Number 5 grew to be a fetus. And that fetus is actually what Mayuri used to modify his Zanpakuto, which allowed him to become a captain. Which explains a whole lot, how he's able to stick a finger in the eye of his blade and it's bleeding and it does this move, and then his Bankai is a giant modifying baby thing that can make a pregnant Buddha and make another baby thing. It makes a lot of sense, which if we had time to explore just all the different intricacies of being a Shimigami, a Soul Reaper with their Zanpakuto, because remember, our homie from Squad Zero, he's in charge of all of the different swords, their souls, their spirits, what they become, that little first form that's like the plain white Zetsu kind of looking thing. So much that can be like asked about this that you could just poke into. Like, so if you can modify your Zanpakuto, and your Zanpakuto is like a reflection of your soul, and the soul in it morphs to whoever you are, does that mean that, well, Mayuri is malleable? You realize he always changes his outfit. He's actually one of the few characters that have multiple outfits throughout all of the entire series. His hair changes, his weird ear things change. So it makes sense. But then you have that. Then you have people who constantly talk to the souls of their Zanpakutos. Wait till I get to episode 37. I can't wait to even talk about that. Then you have, you had folks who, there's only one Zanpakuto per family. There's so much that I wish I had the time to just do a deep dive into Zanpakutos and Shimigami, because this was really cool. But I digress. I'm yapping here. Nemuri number 6 grew to be 2 years old, but cell division died. She is number 7, and it's funny because as we get to see her grow up, y'all, we get to see little baby Nemu, and then toddler Nemu, and then I guess what's after a toddler? I guess somewhere between ages 8 and 10. Right, whatever you would call that, because it's not an adolescent. That's I guess preteen, but we see her in different stages of life, and it's freaking adorable. And she asked our third in command. He's like, how come Master Mayuri doesn't call me by my name? He's like, what do they call you? Nemu. Well, that is your name, right? No, my name is Nemuri number 7, and he goes into explaining how the project came about and saying that, let me go through my notes because I got a lot of notes on this, on how he is embarrassed, right? And she's like, I didn't think he would have those kind of emotions, which is kind of funny. She is rapidly evolving. She's learning all the time, not just growing physically, but mentally. She's learning a lot. And, dude was like, man, you say the darndest thing sometimes. But the captain has said to create a new soul from nothing. In other words, you're creating artificial soul reapers. He's saying it's the dream of all soul reapers, but it's silly for a person to dream while awake. So he called the project Nemuri. Nemu is to sleep, and dream is to sleep. That's what it is in Japanese. And that third in command was saying, it's kind of his way of being sarcastic, but it's funny because to create artificial soul, that's nobody else's dream but his. That's his one personal dream. We saw the little fetus, we see the little babu Nemu, and he's saying that he hypothesized that she would eventually have figured out that she is his dream realized. Once she's went past like the point of where everything kept failing, that is his personal dream that is there. And she's like, well, maybe if I would have stayed ignorant, he would have kept calling me that. And he's like, I doubt it. You're his greatest creation. It's just that made me go, oh, there's no way you won't evolve, right? It just made me go, oh. But it's interesting because Mayuri's not necessarily a good guy, but he's a scientist. He's a mad scientist. Throughout this episode here, it raises the question, like, does he love Nemu? Like, that's kind of like a daughter for him, right? Because questionable things when fighting Zazoro Polo, I think he bit into her or something like that, and obviously this is an attractive character, curvy, busty character, blah 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 blah, but this is like a daughter for him because he goes off on her when she saves him. I'll get to that in a minute, but I'll get to it right now because Giant Hand, Pernida, comes out. He has a bow and arrow on one finger, and he grows his other appendages. is copying Mayuri's laugh, and he's it. Dude is weird, y'all. Actually, I need to go to my notes for this one because he's like, you forgot a Quincy could kill with the bow. He's like, nah, I didn't forget. It's just I didn't think that the left arm of the Soul King would be shamelessly call itself a Quincy. And I love it how Mayuri talk shit. And Pernida's voice got deeper and changed as the fingers grow back. You get the double, the hand with the double pupil and the squinting is saying, why would it be shameless to be a Quincy? I'm fed up with your bad mouthing. And even Mayuri's paying attention to what I'm paying attention. What we paying attention? Dude's voice changed. Kind of sounded like Yoach. And his voice kind of changed to his. And Mayuri's realizing his speech has changed since the first battle. It seems like it is also rapidly evolving and learning and things like that during this entire battle. Freaky as hell. Super freaky. But now Mayuri not only has to deal with this hand. Yeah, there's the copy hand, and they're shooting arrows. And attached to the arrows are the nerves. And Mayuri had to rip off his arm. And as he's about to fall and become a meatball, Nemu saves him. Her own arm she rips off. Funny, his left arm gets he ripped off. She rips off her own right arm, and he is yelling at her. Like I gotta go down for this one because this is good. This is good. So, he was like, one, I didn't tell you. I didn't tell you to step in. And, had you fallen to the ground, you'd be a meatball. Remember what I said? He even said that. And she said, well, I judged that you needed a shield. He's like, I don't recall teaching you to assist at your own discretion. Ever since Ichigo's group has shown up, you've been changing their name, which is true. Ichigo's group has definitely shattered a lot of societal norms in Soul Society, a lot of ways that the captains think, the lieutenants, everyone under them thinks. They have changed things. That is the one good thing about Mary Tsuchigo. He has influenced the Soul Society more than likely for the better, right? But he goes into saying to her, do you understand the toll it would take for me to develop the next you into what you are now? And she's like, I don't. He's like, since you don't understand, don't act on your own judgment. I'm thinking to myself, oh, you've grown attached to her because you figured out how she works. He could make another Nemu. We can get Nemuri number 8. More on that in a second. But he says, you only die when I order you to die. That's cold, bro, because that's like there's like a parental protection there, right? You kind of hear like, you don't get to die until I tell you to die, and he's not going to tell her to die, right? She gives him the Hojiku Zai, which the thing that you grow back arms with. He stabbed it in him, got his arm back. She stabbed it in her, got her arm back. And she's like, I noticed that before this battle, you didn't go to the medicine cabinet and grab a bunch of things. And he's like, oh, you paid attention to that. That's kind of creepy. The irony of the guy who has Frieza's voice, who modifies his entire body, who wears the white face paint, because I'm pretty, his face is not, his body does not look like that, has the bionic commando arm, has the giant baby for a Bankai, is calling somebody creepy. It's still funny. Zaraki is right. It's still funny and hilarious. But regardless of him saying like, you don't get to do this without me telling this, you don't get to die until I tell you, he come up with a plan that they're going to work together. Oh, and there was did that theme play on this? No, the theme did not play on this. Theme song happened. And so here is the plan. Oops. By the way, the animation for this, I keep saying this, but the animation for, at least, especially for this episode, it's freaking badass, man. He flies off as dodging the arrows because it looks like Pernida has not recognized her as a threat. She's running straight down a building. I'm talking Shinobi on the PlayStation 2 style running down a building. So what he's doing, he's spreading an anesthetic all throughout the battlefield that's gonna, deaden the nerves, kind of kill him off a bit. Even though spreading this about is going to slow him down, but it's a necessary sacrifice. It allows her to run on the ground, and she's supposed to take a vial of a coagulant, a nerve coagulant, stick into a still alive vein, because we do see the nerves connected to the arrows, a lot of them turn black. Stab it into it before the thing disconnects from it. And we get a nice little funny moment where he is talking so loudly, saying, once this coagulant agent goes into him, open eyelids won't close, a contracted heart can't expand, and an open mouth can't close. And she even says, "You're talking loudly." He's like, "Shut up." So nerves on the ground, she can step on it, does the damn thing, and the one hand, the one with the single eye, it goes black. The other one is starting to go black, but it just starts to reverse. And he's like, "You think you can kill me with this?" What's his last name? Kurosuichi, which he's talking like Zaraki now. So he figures that the nerves absorb blood and data. He's actively learning about this thing, absorbing blood and data and incorporating it into itself. That's why it's kind of doing some pseudo mimicry. Nope. We already did the flashback here. So, as Mayuri's about to die, we get I like a crazy-eyed moment, because Nemu's eyes, normally just kind of plain looking, it reminds me of Merrick in the Battle City finals when he's fighting Yugi, like how his pupils all tiny, and it's like you see the red veins in the eyes. It's just like, it hurts my eyes even trying to do it. Just She does the same thing, and she's pushing herself to the max. I love a good floor impact when a person pushes off the ground and just destroys the ground beneath it. She's going to catch him, and they literally smash through Pernida, just blast through its face mouth thing, and he's like, "I didn't tell you." She's like, "Don't worry about it. I can last another 400 seconds, which when I calculate it is 6.667 minutes, right? How'd you gain all that power?" She enhanced with the body he gave her. She enhanced her power just under 0.8 seconds before critical breakdown, right? And he's like, "I'm not mad about that. I'm mad that you still going, doing stuff on your own." And she says, "Well, my mission is to protect Master Mario." Oh, I even wrote that in my notes. I went, "Oh." So I'm going to show you my growth by protecting you. When did you learn to talk back? And it's so funny because I'm a little slight spoiler on my own review for the next episode. We are having the lieutenants step up, because he says, "I never saw the day that I would leave a battle to Nemuri." He calls her Nemuri. And he's like, "How humiliating." She goes after the clone hand. Soul mission it says soul mission rate 6%. Her hand is glowing. She's basically doing either, I called it a Kamehameha wave, but it's more like a Rasengan to this thing's entire eye body. What's it called? Gikon Jurinju. Beautiful ass art. Beautiful shine, glimmer on that gold. And just the look of this thing impacting the eye and the eye shifting over before the explosion. And then you get... The cut-in was actually Hijoji. The cut-in now is Nemuri Nanago. Remember, you guys watch Dragon Ball subbed, not dubbed, watch super dub? Because anything with the number called number 17, like Android 17, Android 18, it's Nanajugo, Nanajuhachi. She's Nanago. I find that quite interesting for that language, because that's something that I didn't learn traditionally. I had to learn via anime. Thank you, anime. So Baby Hold Your Hand literally is like, she is his baby. He is holding her hand. It's adorable. So the pieces flowing all around them. And remember earlier when I said, the pieces will become other parts of the hand. They all develop their own eyes, and they shoot nerves into her, and she balloons and just pops as she's looking at him as she's falling down. And her blood vessel just splatters against him and behind him, kind of like in an arc. And this is where I'm like, he definitely had feelings for her, right? Because, because now he's not really doubled over, he's leaned forward, and we see Mr. Pink-haired Espada himself. You know what? I keep Aurora Zazoro. Is that his stupid name? I feel like that is his dumb name. Hold on. We're gonna do this live. Pink-haired Espada. Pretty sure. Oh Lord, that is his name. Zazoro Poro. Zazoro Grands. I like saying his first name way more than saying Grands. But Zazoro Poro, he's taunting him. He's saying, yeah, you talked about how me seeking perfection, how perfection is dumb and boring, and that's not the point of science, right? But maybe you're freaking out here because you actually thought she was perfect. And he's like, the specter of him, and I love the pink hazy outline. Like, he has color, but he kind of doesn't. And he's in front of him, he's to the side of him talking shit. He's in front of him saying, you should thank this giant eye monster thing here. Because remember, you said perfection is dumb. Now you can start over. You know, perfection is despair. Is that despair I see on your face? And you abhorred perfection. And it's interesting because Mayuri, when dude's talking shit, he's like, you're absolutely right. He grabs his face and like makes it pop, and he acknowledges. He said, "It's. I don't believe it took pseudoscience like you to remind me of my negligence." And so I'm like, so you acknowledge that this is just in your head and your soul because you murdered this guy a long time ago. Unless, you know, he did some weird stuff and is latched onto you, but you recognize that this is something otherworldly that is going on within your mind. But I enjoyed it. Him talking shit, calling Nemu a meat puppet. You know, you're alone and helpless, blah, 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 blah. But he snaps out of it, says all this is comical. And we see the giant hand, don't go for him, is lapping up the Nemu guts. And when I say Nemu guts, it's Nemu guts, and you see a brain there. Which that snapped me out of being like, oh, emotional to, oh, what the hell is going on here? Homeboy takes a ring. He's like, all right, eat as much as you want. Go ahead. But I'm taking a cerebellum. He says cerebellum. He meant cerebrum. But I'm taking a cerebellum for myself. And so I did take a couple pictures. Pardon me, because this TV that I was watching it on, really nice TV, very high power TV. This stuff is super bright. Even if I do this, they're going, but this thing has an eye on the tongue. It went from like eye palm to mouth eye palm. And it's starting to freak out and undulate. And he's like, yeah, don't mind me. Finish eating her. But just you might want to hurry up and do it quickly. Because Nemu's pituitary gland is implanted with a compulsory cell division organ to surpass the artificial cells division threshold as he's bubbling up. And he's saying, let me just... It's used to regulate. What's used to regulate it is that it's directly connected to the cerebellum, the Nemu brain that he has. And that's why he took the brain. So let me rephrase this so even an idiot like you can understand. If that organ is ingested by itself without her cerebellum, you're going to grow out of control and self-destruct. And he does bubble up and like a giant blood balloon. I like two things about this. Technically, Nemu did beat him because her body was the sacrifice. And it makes me wonder, did she know that this would happen to her, right? Two, the fact that he had forgotten all of that after witnessing her die, so to speak. I don't really think she's actually dead. I think she can be grown back from that brain. I mean, it's Bleach. Stranger things have happened. And it took being taunted by this guy, talking about, oh, perfect this, perfect that. Her whole deal is evolution, made him go, oh, that's right. this can be fixed. One dude's eating it up. He's like, all right, cool. You killed yourself. You played yourself. That just made me realize the theme of these next 2 episodes. You played yourself though, homie. And he falls down. Apparently there was still a functioning nerve. And I appreciate in the animation, because I have to replay things when I'm typing out my notes. And we see his feet go from here to here while he's walking, and he topples over. Squad 11 is there, and he even says, I'm no different than Zaraki. And now we're getting a rundown. There was a secret area underneath the rubble where there's pods, and the pods have people. It is a healed Rengiku, you can tell because it's mostly bust, and a healed Toshiro Hetsugaya. They're no longer zombies. They can go. Put Zaraki in one, put me in the other one. And what was it? Kujaku, and Ikanku, they both kneel. They thank him. They say, thank you for saving our captain. They run off. And then Hetsugaya also thanks him, which is funny because he says in his speech while saying all this, yeah, I was able to de-zombify them, but their lifespan is greatly shortened. But I doubt the person who's been saved is going to be mad at that, which they weren't mad. He said thank you. And he said, I'm getting thanked an awful lot today. It's very unpleasant. See, yeah, okay, I see you, dude. Last thing he says as we're coming to a close is he's saying like, yeah, I showed you, Kisuke Urahara, I made an artificial soul that evolves, and he has the Nemu brain. I can't wait to picture the look on your face the look of envy on your face. And that's gonna be worthwhile seeing later. Next time we meet, I'm gonna show you the distance between us. And he's like, we'll show them together. And we see, while he's in this water, we see naked Nemu. We see Nemu butt. Didn't think you had it in your Bleach. And she's over him, and that's kind of a hint that she in that brain. She gonna come back. Subtitle for this episode, Baby Hold Your Hand, is Never Ending My Dream. Very cute. Very, very cute. Oh, wow. And we still have more left. These episodes keep rolling on, man. Blue Flames. Quincy's are up there. Quincy King's getting a warm welcome because the zombie girl, but not really a girl, zombie person, and her whole zombie group, they up there. They ready to kill the king. They beating up these guards that have the weird eye stuff on them. What was it? Hashivald sends guards to go follow and check in on Uryu. And then Basby kills all of them and jumps down and is like, yeah. And when Hashivald Jugo goes, what are you doing? He said, oh no, you should be asking, how am I still alive? And that fight is going to happen soon, within 2 episodes actually. But let's talk about the poem here. The poem, I don't remember who's speaking here. I feel like it is Shunsui Sword, Ohana. It says shared memories, unspoken, the mirror transmits from the shadows. It's like a little reverberation in there too. So next episode is Shadows Gone. These follow up to these 2 battles. Man, this episode here is 5 out of 5. One of the best episodes of this season. Can I even say one of the best episodes of the whole 1,000-Year Blood War? I don't know if I can say 13 to 14 episodes apiece. It's kind of hard to position some of them, but this is one of the better episodes. A really good part 2, showing, the Soul Reapers, they're winning. There's a cost to this, but they're winning. We get character growth. We get backstory within this, compelling dialogue, interesting way that the villain dies, fun all around for me. 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. Period. Haven't seen this? Watch this and the first part. Watch them back to back if you have to. Good stuff. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, though. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so be notified of more reviews like this one. And that Patreon link is down there. Click it, follow it, go ahead and donate. You know you want to. Guys, I hope you're being safe. Hope you had a Merry Christmas. Hope you have a safe New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Until next time, be good, be blessed. Wash those hands, drink some water. Be good to yourself, be good to others. Either way it goes, please don't be a jerk. And remember, there are people out there that care about you. Reach out to someone. There are people out there that would rather talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow. I promise you that. My social media is in the description below. Give me a follow. Say hi. You want to talk about this episode? We should definitely talk about this episode. Until next time, y'all. I can't wait. We got to get the shadows gone. We got to get there. I'll see you next time. Bon Kai.